on, you guys? It's Huggable Hipster here, and welcome back to another review. So today's review is going a little bit off the beaten trail, since I did finish the game Hades, which that review is coming next week. In the meantime, while I was trying to get through each run, I was playing Resident Evil Zoe's Story, or End of Zoe, rather. There's always more to the story. There's always another side, there's always another take, and today we're going to go into Zoe's side of the story from Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Which, it's perfect timing, because in May, which is next month, which is not even a full month from now, Resident Evil 8 Village comes out, and I'm so excited. I'm over the moon, I'm ecstatic, I am flabbergasted. I can use many more words, but I'm just gonna sit here sipping on my matcha instead. Tastes like success. But to go into this story quite bluntly, it's a very short game. Very short, and you can get it done within an hour, but it's a step into another side of Resident Evil 7. Found by Joe, her uncle, Zoe is in this calcified state by Evelyn, the lovely grandmother that we saw before in the main storyline. She's left mummified and now relies on her uncle to get the needed treatment to turn her back into the wonderful human that she once was. The CLC kind of tied up the loose ends of all of the other sides of this Resident Evil 7 adventure, if you will, and it gave Resident Evil 7 the closure and the expansion I feel that it deserved. There's also so many other DLCs within the Gold Edition of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. There is, oh gosh, Ethan Must Die, there's Zoe's End, there's another one, Lost Footage. I think there's two. There's two lost footages, and there's Jack's birthday party. So there's a lot of content within the DLC work, and it all goes into the story of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. There's nothing that's an awkward kind of DLC. You know how like they put out DLCs just for the sake of putting out DLCs? Well, this isn't like that. All of these DLCs come together in a cohesive way that are actually really fun and really unique too. I'm really tempted to play one of the DLCs on YouTube, but I don't know. You'll have to let me know down in the comments below if that's something you'd want to see. So this is a DLC that's done the right way. A DLC in theory is supposed to have the content that benefits or enhances the main game. Resident Evil 7 has several DLCs, like I've stated before, and each one benefits the story in a massive way. End of Zoe goes into the final days of Jack Baker, the main guy who we fought in the main story of Resident Evil 7. And it gives us a taste of Capcom's respective future in the Resident Evil series in regards to Resident Evil 8 Village. Now this might be a stretch, but I believe that Resident Evil 7 predicts Resident Evil 8. It does. I promise. End of Zoe DLC creates this kind of continued atmosphere within the game, so where you have the story that took off from Resident Evil 7 Biohazard's main storyline, it kind of picks up to an extent within this DLC. And it gives the main storyline of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard respect. You know, having Chris Redfield in the DLC as one of the knights in shining armor, I think is fantastic. It is also a key factor in my belief as to why it ties everything over to Resident Evil 8. So has anyone who has played the End of Zoe DLC wondered why there is this graveyard slash castle that kind of mimics the setting of that of Resident Evil Village, the trailer? I believe the camera pan up to the castle whenever you get to a certain point. Those of you who played it know what I'm talking about. It shows us not only that we are entering into new territory, whether that be metaphorical, showing us different kind of character work, whatever it is, showing us new areas, what have you. But this pan up kind of shows kind of the evolution of more kinds of character evolution in regards to Chris Redfield's character. It's very vague, but it's all set in this DLC, and I think that that was Capcom's way of saying, hey, you know what, there's something new that we're working on. It may be vague as hell, but we're working on something. So I do have to say, this demo was short, sweet, and to the point. Let's go into my final thoughts on this DLC. This demo was fun, and it wasn't necessarily a demo. I say it's a demo in the article because that's kind of the vibes that it gave off, to be honest with you, because I don't know, for me personally, I consider games that are short like that a demo of what's to come instead of really a DLC. It is a DLC, but then again, I'm just a snobby bitch that likes to class different things the way it is, so don't mind me. But the thing is that, you know, it was fun. It was a good continuation of the story that is Resident Evil 7. It even tied it to another very famous Resident Evil game that is Code Veronica X. Was it that tied to Code Veronica X, Ariel? Well, in the final boss that we see in Code Veronica X, the way that her face has all like these calcified you know, things and gems, and the way that their hair is swoopy. You'll see a picture comparison over here, okay? Me trying to describe it is like me going to the auto parts store. It never really works out well. It reminded me of that final boss and the way in which you had minimal weapon usage even within the game. Like, there's so much that reminds me of other Resident Evil games, the way that they were doing. You know, that I also found it intriguing that you really had to use your fists a lot. Like, there was little to no weapon usage at all in this game. You had to mainly use your fists, and it was a strong point of this DLC as a whole. So this DLC was just, it was done correctly. I would highly recommend it, and it's just something that I absolutely loved. It was really, really well done. So you guys, that was a short review, but thank you so much for watching this video. And if you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell down below, because I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There's still 2 more uploads that are going to be happening today. I say that with trepidation because one of the videos you guys are going to be kind of shook. But stay casually nerdy, you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.